a reporter piggy. Oinked at the press like Suey, bitch, you looking kinda piggy. What if Obama tried to shut down the media? CNN in cages, MSNBC on a leash. Media's on their knees, yeah.
Section 3 only put it. No, I cannot go. I cannot go. Oh, my mama. All of that. Fuck away or no way. Next up, what's up? Yeah, I walked in no legs. I'm motherfucking. No, baby, I ain't flexing. She gon' break my heart, I ain't flexing. But I'ma break her heart, cause I'm legs. Yeah, legs, yeah, legs. She won't break my heart, no, I ain't flexing. But I broke her heart because I'm legs. Yeah, legs, yeah, legs, yeah, legs, dripping like I was a text.
This camera has been cut down, completely sprayed over with an American flag on it, and not far away there's another vlog camera on the ground as well. HPD says it's investigating this, but so far there are more questions than answers. These cameras, meant to help solve crimes, now becoming the target of one, both cut in half and covered in spray paint.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the cameras were there until you actually pointed that out.
Juan Rodriguez's business, Spar Houston, is located by Washington Avenue and Westcott, where this happened. These are flock cameras, meant to read license plates and alert police if they're connected to crimes. Rodriguez says he didn't see who did this, but he's left wondering why they did.
That's what it sounds like it would be. Somebody just protesting, their rights are being violated or something like that.
Flock cameras have been used in the city of Houston since 2021, according to the company. The Houston Police Department tells us they were notified these cameras were damaged on the morning of July 4th. As far as the repair costs, HPD says it depends on who is responsible for these specific cameras. While some cameras are installed through city contracts, others are done with neighborhoods or private groups that choose to share footage with police. HPD couldn't confirm who was responsible for these cameras, only saying this is an ongoing investigation. ABC 13 reached out to Flock asking if they were aware of this situation and what the repair process would look like. They didn't answer those questions, but did say, quote, damaging public safety equipment is illegal and puts the community at risk, which is why we strongly condemn this type of behavior. As far as how often something like this happens, Flock says overall they see very few reports of vandalism. Sarah Alshaik, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Ever feel like the phone is eavesdropping? That's because big tech threats every user life like a corporate check. It's time to stop being the product. Millions are making the move to MeWe, the place where private, connected, and online communities actually thrive. On MeWe, privacy is a human right, not a hidden setting. They don't track users, they don't sell personal data, and they truly believe in free speech. No shadow banning, just real conversations. Join the 21 million people taking the digital lives back. Use code WELCOME2026 at checkout and grab 20% of MeWe Premium.
You guys stock up on it. Your family needs to eat.
I'm telling y'all.
Hey y'all, I'ma let you guys know right now, this is on the White House page. Declaration of Emergency and Authorization for Temporary Duty Free Importation of Phosphate Fertilizer from Morocco. This literally translates to a food emergency. And then I went on the blockchain and I saw that the United States Food Reserve got established around the same time Donald Trump called the national emergency. And here it is right over here. I positioned myself early and it has been going up. I guarantee you this thing is going to go parabolic. This is not financial advice, y'all. This is how I do my research. You guys want to check this out? Everything for this will be pinned in the comments below, man. You guys see it. Y'all see what was happening with the dots, man. This is the digital age. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Look how low the water is getting on the Hoover Dam, gang. That shit normally be up here by the water line. Y'all see that? Bro, something literally is happening right now. We all seen that things been happening with the AI data centers, right? But I feel like it could even be more than that, gang. And this is why I've been talking about the water reserve. Because if we don't bring this shit to light, yo, I feel like within the next year or two, something major is going to cook everybody. So I feel like niggas should at least take their time out to at least research this shit, gang. It's literally everywhere, and all you gotta do is type that shit in. Literally, ever since I told y'all it was very, very low, and I told y'all that at least are buying up water stocks and everything. Niggas need to really wake up!
Hitler really said the only way this madness will stop is if Negroes, aka Black Americans, realize who they are. I know who the fuck I am. Do you niggas know who y'all are?
Welcome everybody, this is Dice Game G coming back here on the We Are Vicious TV Raw Vicious Network. You can find me and my brother Dickie Jr. on Instagram. It's Dickie Jr. at Dickie_Jr19 at Dice Game 615. You can also follow us on YouTube, Rumble, the Locale channel, the Big Shoe, Telegram, and I'm telling you, TikTok, we're going live on X, and you can also follow us on Clubhouse. We doing it live and we doing it lit. Please follow us. Yo, we going into major details, especially on extraterrestrials and the politicians and more. You know what I'm saying? Please follow us on. We just come on Clubhouse. I'm telling you, Clubhouse is gonna be lit. The house is gonna be off the chain. So please follow us. We are Vicious TV Raw Vicious Network.
Listen, y'all need to get ready right now, man. Have y'all heard of this before? Check this out.
In case you didn't hear, in the last 48 hours, the NOAA officially confirmed a Super El Nino advisory. It is essentially guaranteed now that a Super El Nino is coming. We are in one as we speak. Additionally, they have essentially confirmed a severe weather will be seen across the entire continental United States and much of the world. Let's chop it up.
Look at this, y'all. The last time we had an El Nino was in 1877 and about 15 million people died. Now check this out. It's not as near as what we got going on right now, y'all, because they are projecting about 50 million people are going to go. So you guys know what this means, and this is exactly what people are getting prepared for, because Donald Trump just called a national emergency on the fertilizer, the things that makes us food. Here's the crazy thing, because around the same time they called a national emergency on the fertilizer for food, the United States Food Reserve came out on the blockchain. Reason why this is very interesting is because the United States Food Reserve, it tokenizes food on the blockchain for exactly what's going on right now. I truly believe this is exactly why we see the type of scarcity that's going on with the food in these stores right now, y'all. And here we go, the United States Food Reserve, it tokenizes food on the blockchain. You remember what happened with the ports earlier this year, y'all? Everything is catching up, man. You guys want to check this out? Get yourself a Phantom wallet and do your own research. The things for this will be put in the comments below, man. This is the digital age, y'all. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
We thought the shit was going to be very long. Anyway, that's all. It's exciting. It's going to be a bath, not a blood bath. A steam bath. And I think it's a great show. I thought if they were the storm now, that it won't be, that would be the perfect thing for the collection.
Maybe Michelle Lamy meant to say that she was going to take a nice hot bath after a long day working, because Michelle Lamy be putting in mad work She don't play, guys. She's about her business. I don't know why she would say such a thing. Maybe she didn't mean to say that. That's why they laugh, because it's a joke, guys. Remember, these people play around a lot. They know what we want to hear, and they know what to say to get us going and saying things about things that don't exist. And they're real good with art. As you can see, she has Rick Owens' face on her like bag or her shirt. But everything is okay here, guys. Don't worry about it. This is cool. This is fashion at its finest. When it comes to fashion, Michelle Lamy and Rick Owens got it on Smash. Shut up! It's not a game out here. But of course, guys, entertainment purposes only, because that's all this is entertainment. We just playing around, you know, pointing out things that people say knowing that they're joking around. And of course, I don't know anything. Let me know if you know anything. I'm out.
Hey, you can't make this shit up. Look at this. I'm in Walmart in Renton. It's, oh shit! Oh shit! It's time to go! Oh shit! It's on fire! What the fuck is going on?
He knows he's the mermaid.
So mermaids are real?
Yes. I have had a vision where I was standing at a riverbank and I had a scroll and I gave it to a mermaid.
What did it look like?
Like a fish. And it was so crazy because your journey is an interpretation of what you dealt with in past lives. So eventually you're going to remember who people are. In living form, I knew who the mermaid was that I gave the scroll to. Me and him went to Rock Store at Lakeline Mall. He grabs a scroll book and says, "You need to write in this." And I looked at him. I said, "So it is you." And he looked at me and he walked away. He knows he's the mermaid that I gave it to. And he comes back like clockwork every year. But they will play as a referee, just like how football, throwing the flag, how they referee the game. We're in the game. They're the ones that referee the game. The Grays are the ones that sabotage everything. So they don't have souls, like, you know, like they don't have emotions. Let me say emotions like we have emotions. So their job is to abduct and take care of the cloning program. Okay, let's go back. So since we were talking about this again, do you want to talk about the Jesus and the Lucifer thing so we can get into? Because again, Jesus, Lucifer, Anunnaki, alien. Let's talk about it. If that's what we're going, let's talk about it. So Jesus and Lucifer. Again, people think that that's two different people. It's the same person. That's the reason why the birthday is the same. Same birthday. Again, whenever you think about how they talk about language, there was not a J, or back then, you know, only thing that was there was an L. So every time that I would say Lucifer's enemies created the Bible and created a scroll, they changed his name and renamed him, which that's the way that they can control his energy, putting it in English content as well. So, who Lucifer is, let me say this. He was the first lieutenant on the Anunnaki spaceship with Uman-Ra, the Egyptian gods. When they first came here, they came here to mine gold. They came here with the Anunnakis and the reptilians and giants. So they were all cool back then? So, Anunnaki and reptilians are cousins. So is the Greys. So now you're going to understand bloodline battles. Do you understand bloodline battles now? This has been a bloodline battle thing for a long time. So what originally happened was the reason why Lucifer became a fallen angel is because he fell in love with Lilith. Lilith was reptilian bloodline. Back then, when you're thinking about species, aliens, you're not supposed to crossbreed. You're supposed to keep your blood as pure as possible. So think about how they took my people and started shifting them off to create and make races stronger. Started off at the beginning of that. So when Lilith and Lucifer became in love with one another, Ra cast him out. Because they weren't supposed to crossbreed. They were not supposed to crossbreed. They were not supposed to crossbreed at all. This shit sound like some families today.
Can't
Grand Rising, everybody. This is Dice Game T coming back here on the We Are Vicious TV. I want to make sure everybody hear me. And like I said, I want to make sure everything is going a couple steady. Give me a few seconds while I work in this. I'm sure everything is working, but I want to make sure before I get started. Because I don't like to stop and trying to get everything working again. All right, I see everything is good. Everything is good on my end. First thing first, I wanna give thanks to the goddess queen, just me, 23. You know what I mean? I don't get we don't get much shout outs, and more tags, and but it means a lot that one person took the time out of their day to give us a shout out because we don't get that much. And then two, I know we heavily shadow banned. Me and my brother Dickie Jr. We've been shadow banned. And if you've been following the channel, you already probably done heard this 1,000 times. You probably done heard this a million, billion, gazillion times. Like I said, we've been shadow banned. They've been taking our stuff down. We've been on these platforms for almost 10 years. We've been podcasting and putting out the messages and stuff like this. And then, and, a lot of content that they scrubbed off of YouTube like the goddess said in her live, and I want you to please go and check that live stream out. I was trying to live stream, this early in the day, but I had to put a video out showing, somebody else out there gets it. Somebody else out there been doing the work. Somebody else out there been getting their messages, from their ancestors and the Most High, and they've been doing the work, you know and and I just want to thank Goddess for giving a shout out because like I said we don't receive them that much, but we going in right now to this one. My brother Dickie, he's not on this live today, but we gonna keep him in the spirit. I know he probably wanted to be on, but I'm gonna go into this straight in. I titled this Apocalypse Time, and the timelines have been really all effed up right now because we know as CERN has been brought down. They shut CERN down, so now we have a chance now to create what we want to create without any pushback because CERN been bringing in these lower dimensional entities and shit. And the whole reason why they brought CERN anyway, because they want to know how the universe was created. That's they use these damn particles and they trying to and bring it, and they be bringing in shit from other dimensions and other lower realms and shit. So if anybody don't know what CERN is, a lot of people have not been educating themselves on a lot of this stuff. And they might not want to know, and I understand that. You might not want to know. You might not trying to I know a lot of this shit seems bizarre, but you stay on the frequency because everything has a frequency. Everything has a frequency. Like you want to get up and you want to. I'm just taking this for example. If you're trying to go out there and know anything about cars and stuff like that, you gotta be on it every day, daily. You want to learn everything about a car, you gotta be on it daily. You can't just be like, I'm gonna do it today and then skip another day. No, you want to get on this frequency and you want to know, or important things about yourself and in the creation, you got to be on it 24/7. You know what I mean? You got to be dialed in. I told people for years, how all this stuff and how getting the messages and downloads and stuff like that. You gotta be on the frequency. You can't just be, like it said in the Bible for y'all Bible thumpers, what I'm saying? When God said you can't be cold, you can't be lukewarm, you gotta be hot for me. Same way this shit, you gotta be hot for the information. You know what I'm saying? And you be hot on the information, it grows your vibration, grow your frequency. That's why they tell you to, do research. That's why we tell you to go do your research. Because you know what I'm saying, you are putting yourself in the spot of the know. You know what's going on. You know what's about to happen. And I know a lot of y'all people, what I'm saying, that really is not educating themselves, and really you want to sit there and laugh and want to say, oh, these people are crazy. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't what they about aliens and reptilians and all this shit. We ain't never seen no reptilians and stuff like that. We told you, saying how the spirit works. We told you, instead of looking at the clouds, looking at something outside your being, everything you need to know is inside of you. You know what I'm saying? Your DNA holds memory. Your DNA knows what's been playing out with you from the past into present. Your DNA know everything. It has it in. You know what I mean? So when people look at it and laugh at us and trying to say, well, these motherfuckers gotta be crazy shit. You must be. I'm looking at you as crazy because you don't see what's going on. You don't see the whole planet, the whole world. You know what I'm saying? Is the old system is collapsing. You know what I mean? And I did a lot, I put a lot of these clips up, just to let y'all know, I'm gonna be on multiple topics. If it seems like I'm jumping from topic, subject to subject, topic to topic, it's meant for me to do that like that tonight because it's so much stuff that's going on right now today. And like I said, our food, our water, even the air, what I'm saying, is toxic. You know what I mean? So, like I said, for people want to laugh and giggle and shit like that, and thinking we something to laugh at or we crazy and shit. Okay, keep playing pussy and get fucked. I'm telling you because you know as as I went to my awakening, like I said, for the people that been following. We are Vision TV. Follow me and Dickie Jr. and Dice Game Show. We always been saying, we always been telling out, when we had our awakening you know. And I've been waking up ever since 2001, but I had my full awakening around 2009 and 2010. You know what I mean? And I started understanding what I was seeing and what I was experiencing. Seen the war above the dome around 2010. See, a lot of people thinking this war above the dome just started, or they thought thinking, all this stuff just started with their generation. No, this shit just ain't nothing new under the sun. Ain't nothing new under the sun. If you think you created, believe me, and my brother Dickie said this loud and clear, somebody already thought it before you. It already been thought. You know what I'm saying? You looking at all these technology and stuff. You think this is brand new technology? This shit is old. All this shit is ancient. They've been having cell phones. The military been using cell phones for ever since the '60s. You know what I mean? You know, all this shit is old technology, and it came from the extraterrestrials. You know what I mean? And when a lot of people want to sit back and doubt this information instead of doing the research, I mean, I don't see how a person can come up and tell me in your face, and they don't know what you experience. They don't know where you don't research. They don't know where you getting your information and call you a liar. You know what I'm saying? Calling you crazy. That's the worst thing you can call a person is crazy, especially when a person is trying to, give you out, you know, uh, good information so it can help you in the near future. Because now you're seeing a lot of stuff that we've been talking about, and I want to give another thanks out to the goddess that she put it down in this the horrible podcast show. She put it, I mean, everything she said, and she's the only one that's been on that podcast was saying a lot of things that we've been laying out and addressing over, for all this time. You know what I mean? It's a lot more people, but she's the one. She's the one, I'm telling you, you can tell that she's very spiritual, and you can tell she get her messages. You know what I'm saying? And like we tell people, if you gonna call into your ancestors, ask your ancestors for protection, ask your ancestors to walk with you, be a part of your life. You know what I'm saying? And then live like you the righteous. Now, don't just be calling in, because you think that's a good thing. But if you're not living your truth, if you're not speaking your truth, and I mean speaking the truth out of your heart chakra, so you got chakras lined up in your body. You know what I mean? And if you're not, speaking out, if you speaking and you're not speaking out your heart chakra, you know what I'm saying? You might as well not say shit at all because it ain't doing nobody no justice. But when you speaking the truth, it start resonate to people. You know what I mean? And this is what I gotta say, and I don't want people to have they panties in a bunch. But we talked about with school. We talking about the schools and these programs. These all number programming. The school ain't nothing but a control facility. You know what I mean? Because they've been grooming us since birth. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many times we regurgitate this shit. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna keep allowing the message and we gonna regurgitate this shit over and over again to what I'm saying it help somebody. You know what I mean? I don't care if it helps just one person. I don't say it's helping. You know what I'm saying? You got people out here, being shadow banned, being censored for speaking the truth. But now the truth is out. Now a lot of people are waking up and seeing what's really going on. And like I said, you're gonna hear messages. You're gonna be hearing stuff like this from all type of people. You know what I mean? You might like to hear it a certain way, but another person like to hear it another way. See, like I said, we all don't hear things the same. We all don't, experience things the same. You know what I mean? So when we give out the messages and we tell it that we get download, it's just how we perceive them. See, people want to ask us, where you get your information from? And look, we all experiences things differently. Everybody ain't gonna talk the same, ain't gonna walk the same. Everybody ain't gonna, because like was telling people, school ain't nothing but a program. So some people have them programs from school, and they do their presentation how they learn in school. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, people got different ways to push out the messages like the guy that said in the live, like she was stressing on that uh, uh that how a lot of a lot of this bloodline and a lot of this stuff, this rabbit hole is deep. You know what I mean? This rabbit hole is fucking deep. Like I said, everybody know the presidents and all this, the presidents and stuff, somewhat, some kin to each other. I know a lot of people been getting a whole bunch of messages and getting a lot of information. But this is what I want to say, and I'm gonna go into this. Uh, right now, the reptilians, like I said, they are basically they fasting because people are waking up. The reptilians run all these platforms. You know, we've been speaking on this for so long, and we've been talking about this for so long. And now, a lot of people is waking up and witnessing. You see, the veil has been torn. Really, the veil is torn down. A lot of people experiencing paranormal activity. People are witnessing things they never thought they was going to witness. And we told you that when this veil collapsed, you got to be ready to see all this stuff and experience this shit because, like I said, they've been lying to us. They've been telling us and going, having us going against ourselves for so fucking long. And now they in panic mode because they see people are waking up and people are getting in line, in tune with who they are and where they come from. Like the guy that said in the video that Jesse Jackson Jesse Jackson really, came and told some bullshit saying we are African Americans. And I'm talking about the people, is from Americas. I'm talking about the melanated indigenous people are from Americas. He came out and want people to adopt this African story and knowing we went from Africa. You know what I'm saying? See, we have sellouts among us. Yeah, we have sellouts. And like I said, he was one of them. Like I said, I never bought that story. Like the guy that said in here, her mother, her grandmother and her mother told her, what I'm saying, that they was Indians. Same way my grandmama. My grandmama showed my great grandmama. She told us that we are, what I'm saying, natives to these lands. We are the indigenous. See, when you don't see somebody in the family, if you are from Africa, if you from another country, somebody in the family is gonna know that, and they gonna relate this shit to you. Somebody gonna say it, you know. One of the elders are gonna tell you. See, I'm getting tired of our people's claiming something that they're not, because that's why basically it's a spell of self. You know what I'm saying? You cursing a spell on yourself, claiming something that you're not. Only thing I do is look this shit up. Only thing you gotta do is do your research, like the guy that said in the video. And it's no reason why nobody sitting back here don't know this information. Because it's plenty, you know what I'm saying? It's plenty whistleblowers and it's plenty knowledge out here on these platforms. And you still see, and this is my number, because I think 60% of the internet, people on the internet still don't even know what a reptilian is. Don't know what a reptilian is. If they don't want, if they don't know, don't want to know. But I'm telling you, because I go around every day and I pick people brains, and like I said, I'm a Gemini. May 25th, 1982. If you know anything about 1982, like the guy that said too, people from the 80s. If you born in the 80s, most what I'm saying souls come here on the contract. On the contract, we have a contract to come in and help raise the consciousness of the planet. We here to pass on the messages. We here to, what I'm saying, be guided by the ancestors. Ancestors give us, what I'm saying, give us all the messages and your higher self. So it's no reason, nobody know this information because it's all on the web. You know what I mean? So, like I said earlier, people need to start, calling in their ancestors. I'm talking about mostly melanated people. You know what I'm saying? Indigenous people. You know what I'm saying? You already have that gift. You already can tap into the Most High. You can tap into the weather. You can tap into Mother Earth. You can tap into the animals. You know what I mean? That's why they were trying to cut us gods and goddesses out, because they know that we have that in our DNA. They know, what I'm saying, we you know what I'm saying, once we, you know, uh, uh deprogram from all their programming, their manipulation, they know we start activating and we start raising our vibrations. They know this shit. They know this. You know what I'm saying? That's why they are panicking right now. You know what I'm saying? First thing first, you know what I mean? When it said in the Bible, for y'all Bible thumpers, when it said God is not gonna destroy this planet by water anymore, he's gonna destroy it by fire. When we talk about the we talking about the solar flash, and how hot the solar flash is, 999 degrees. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? You got to put all this shit together. You know what I'm saying? That's why the planet is getting hotter. You know what I'm saying? Time seems like it's none and void, it's not existing. You know what I mean? And people, if you're not on the right frequency as the planet is, and as the sun, do its thing. You know what I mean? And that's cool. Not just white people, our people too. If you're not vibrating on that frequency, you're not going to make it. Just saying, you're not going to make it. And the same rules apply by you, apply by me too. So when people want to say, "Oh, you did it," no, you know what I mean. But we in that right now. We at that time. Like I told you, I had to walk away. You have to walk away from this old system. You know what I mean? You can't keep trying to work this out and think you gonna, think you just gonna balance this shit out and it's gonna get straight. It's never going back to the old system. And all this shit, this 6,000 year reign is over. You know what I mean? Like I said, Stern, when Stern came in, when Stern shut off, that's when, we have the freedom to go on and start creating and start, what I'm saying, doing what we've been wanting to do. And they say they're gonna cut some bitch back on by 2030. They just hoping that the New World Order wins and shit like it. Maybe on their timeline, but on my timeline, I know for a fact that the New World Order don't exist. You know what I'm saying? Past 2028. So I'm just saying, like I said, you see the planet, and you see what's going on around the world, worldwide. You see what's going on in the country. You see, like I said, what we told you that Donald Trump is here to bring down the old system, and you see it's crumbling. You see a lot of shit coming out in the open. You see people, you know what I'm saying? You see these celebrities, they panicking and all because the truth is gonna be set out and they're gonna be exposed. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. So as people as been talking about, people think the planet is round and all this. It was that lie created by Masons. Mason came out and told us the world was round. As the Bible said one thing. You know what I'm saying? It in the Bible it talks about the firmament and the waters above and so below. You know what I mean? You know, as we learn about space is number water as we saying coming up into our awakening. you know I know a lot of this shit seems so out there because when I first had my awakening, I didn't know I believed none of this shit as it is. But like I told you, one fourth of the time, me and my brother told you, once you slow everything down, because Satan like you to stay busy. Satan like you to keep working. You know what I'm saying? So you won't sit back. Satan can't stand free thinkers. Because we start thinking and we start putting shit together, then we break the programming. Same way with marijuana. They know, what I'm saying, what marijuana do. You know what I'm saying? It breaks down their program. That's why they didn't want motherfuckers smoking. That's why they been making it illegal for all this time. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, alcohol kill way more people than bud do. Come on now, we gotta make sense with this shit. You know what I'm saying? We can't be going around and buying in the bullshit. You know what I mean? And you sit back and you think about things and you see how shit is played out. And like I said, you didn't just be looking up shit. You gotta understand it. You gotta understand it and overstand it. You know what I mean? Because if you don't understand how shit works, you don't get it. You really don't get it. Yeah, I'm just putting it like that. You don't get it. So, like I said earlier, people got their own experiences. And people, when people come out with messages like this, don't be shutting them down and trying to push them to the side because you don't know nothing about this. And like I said, as the Bible taught you not to question, because that's what they done. You know what I mean? And you got to question everything today. Because like I said, everything is, and I wasn't gonna be on here too much longer. I just had to come in and really, to address some certain things. And as you see all these diseases and stuff flowing around here, you know what I mean? Yo, we in the mix of, of this apocalypse, man. You know what I mean? Everything is really breaking down. Like we've been telling y'all for over 2 decades that this was coming, you know, and rumors of wars, and and you seeing, people being exposed for sex trafficking, as we know that the Clinton Foundation was pushed out of Venezuela because of the fact that they've been trafficking children in the midst of that earthquake and the chaos. It just came out. But I don't see too many people talking about this. See, when you thought people care about their kids, care about the kids, care about the children, that'll be the first thing people get behind. If they hear about a child being abducted or sex trafficking, you would think that'd be the first thing people flock to because the kids is our innocent. Our kids, and I don't want to go into some detail because, like I said, it eats me up finding out what happened to these babies, what they do to these babies. It eat me up, and like I said, I don't know how no one sit here and hear about children have been sacrificed and like the guy that said on the live on the horrible podcast, he said YouTube was basically the whistleblower because early before Google took over, man, YouTube had everything, anything you wanted to know, YouTube had it. It had a lot of whistleblowers on that was speaking about reptilians. They had them run-ins with reptilians, or they had the experiences of being kidnapped by this Illuminati motherfucking cult, you know what I mean? And had whistleblowers talking about their families being in these Illuminati cult like, and they use their children just to, just to put it into mind control facilities like the Montauk Project. You know what I'm saying? I spoke about the Montauk Project, you know what I'm saying, years ago, and had a whistleblower come out and was telling, everything about his experiences in the Mai Tai program. Then they came out with a damn fucking fucking television series called Stranger Things. They was gonna name it the Mai Tai Project, but they knew what the controversy around it, so they changed it. But this is what we were trying to tell people from the early times what they were doing to children. You know what I mean? I mean, they was experimenting with all type of children in this Mai Tai Project. You know, I mean, having them play Russian roulette. Two children sit back there, play Russian roulette with a gun, and then one of them watch the other one blow his head off or her head off. I mean, it's some sick shit. These people are monsters, yo. And that's what I said when I first started getting all my messages and doing the research and doing the work. When I found out what they were doing to the children, what they done to the children, what they still continue to do right now today, I said, so I gotta expose this. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if it take every inch of my motherfucking life. If I gotta expose, I'm gonna expose it. See, that's one thing they know about us, chosen one. You know what I'm saying? We come without fear. We come without fear. They know who align with their frequency. They know it. They watch us every day. They monitor us every day. Now they up the antics now with this data program, the data centers. While the data center eating up the water, they don't need the water to keep the see they tell us any motherfucking thing and we just believe it. We just believe it like some old jackasses. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they talk about the water gonna keep man, it's all an agenda. See, they already control the food, they already control the electric, the land, all this shit. They trying to, they having trying to have control of the water too. Because they know that's what we are, really. You wanna know some old history? Yeah, we all come from water beings. Yes, we are water beings. But that's on another day, another topic. But you see what they're doing now, you know what I'm saying? And this is agenda trying to dry up all our water. Shit. Probably another couple of years from now, a bottle of water be $1,000 a bottle. We keep going on this. I'm just saying we have to walk away from their system. We gotta stop playing the game. Cause this is all a game to them. Shit, they laughing at it in our face. All these motherfuckers, we can still can't figure it out. Uh-uh. Oh yeah, we waking it up. But I'm saying they know who they can run that shit to, play that game to, because they know where your frequency is. They know what you're watching. Like we told people I've been shadow banned since 2010 because they already knew what I would educate myself, and they knew I was uh uh bring having messages, and they already know all this shit. They knew I was posting on Facebook as Facebook want to censor, been censoring us for a while, finding out that, all our posts weren't getting seen from others because they want to keep this information from people from knowing this shit. Now you can't find me on Facebook. I can't stand Facebook. I'm barely surviving on Instagram. If you follow us on Instagram at Dice Game 615, I got over 24,000 followers on there. I had more than that before Instagram was taking down my followers. See, that's what they was doing. They was taking down my followers off of Instagram. I had over 32,000 followers at a missed time. See, I'm talking about the world is in fucking chaos right now. And I did like five fucking videos on Order Out of Chaos. Now as we go now into, and we just in the middle of 2026, and you see how all this shit going. And the water, Mississippi is drying up because of these damn data centers. Finding out these data centers been here. They've been having these data centers. They've been having this shit for a while. You know, as we look at that, the food is going up. I mean, damn, $100 gonna give you two or three bags. Come on now, like, it's bad. We have to start stockpiling and stockpiling food because we already know something is big is on its way. Something big is on its way. Like I said, and we have the time now, right now, to walk away from their old system. You know what I mean? Oh, it's apocalypse time, y'all. And the timelines is looking shitty right now because they anyway they uh the Illuminati is trying to, and they've been doing this, manipulating the frequency. As I was telling y'all of the reason why the data centers, and same way where they got all these flock cameras posted up everywhere, and I know you've seen these flock cameras every fucking where, and they're gonna tell you it's for people that's shooting guns and stuff, and they can track down people's cars and read the tags and shit. But that's not all they do with that. Face recognition, that's that AI. I mean, the shit that we was telling you, you know what I'm saying? They can see through your car. They can see where your gun is stashed in the car. They can see everything in your fucking vehicle. They showing you right there. And I played that video. One of the news ain't gonna tell the truth because they with they with the other side. You know what I mean? They gonna tell you, well, people vandalism taking the stuff down. They not gonna tell you the full truth about their technology. That's why people is cutting it down because they know what it is. They know you can't move, you can't walk without being monitored. You know what I mean? They want to know where you at all times. And then on top of that, if you got the nanobites in your body, the nanoparticles or the technology where they use to put in the vaccines, hey, I mean, hey, basically you gonna say you a walking robot. We just gonna say that. You might not like what I'm saying, but like I said, all this shit is coming out. You know what I mean? And like I said, I appreciate the guys because when she laid it down in that video, everything that when she was saying in that video, it's not word for word, but everything she dropped in that video, we were saying. So please go check that out. Check that out. The link is in the description. The Harbor Podcast, the video, and her link for her channel. Please go check it out. Because if you want to know, what I'm saying, what we've been talking about, sums it out, short enough, go check her out on that Harbor Podcast. As we move through the rest of this month, July, you know, uh we already know that about the data centers. We already know that we losing water. We already know it's an agenda. We already know that they trying to plant chips in people, plant this. We were talking to people years ago about they was gonna come with the mark of the beast and want to chip people, and we've been hearing that. Yeah, they don't have to chip everybody. They got other ways to get you caught in their web, and it's true. But they really trying to, merge human into machine. Like we was talking about Terminator. You know what I mean? And the Terminator, And we already know who wrote The Matrix and Terminator. It was the melanated woman. She come up with she wrote it and she copyrighted it and shit. And she was going through a lot of problems because Hollywood took her stuff. And that's what they do. They take all our shit and claim it and make money off of it, get profit of it, and then don't give us a damn dime. They've been doing that shit long as we've been here. I'm just putting it like that. So I'm just saying, uh, they want to merge us with machines. Like I said, and people who took that vaccine, they already classified them as non-human beings anyway. Transhumanism. That's what they classified them as because of the technology they shoved and pushed in your body. As you learn about, you know, stuff that's been going on, and now you educating yourself, and now, like I told you, knowledge is power. When they said knowledge is power, it's so for real. It's so real. You know what I mean? That's why we tell people go do the research, go on and look this shit up and know this shit because when you know this, you up your vibration, and just not that too. Like we said, this Christ consciousness is hitting the planet right now, and and a lot of people is not going to be able to stand this frequency because they are vibrating on a low vibration spectrum, and they enraged, and you see it all over the globe. You see people just going fucking ape shit for no fucking reason. You know what I mean? If they ain't got the nanotech in them, you know what I'm saying? Or they got this trauma, they embedded in this trauma. They still have, these programs embedded on them. You know what I mean? And we keep stressing it, telling people this nigga slow down and 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 really, cut yourself off from the outside world for me. Get with nature. You know what I'm saying? Get quiet. Start thinking. Start, what I'm saying, you know, because that's the only way you can, that you can rip doing your shadow work, rip yourself from all these damn programs. And like when people are still under fear, you know, a lot of people still in this fear, and it's nothing but a program. They've been embedding this fear program in us since birth. You know what I mean? A lot of people fear about not paying their rent, or in fear of they exes, or they in fear of uh, uh something that they don't understand. I'm just saying, you know, you have to do your shadow work, and shadow work comes every day. You're not going, it never stops. You're gonna have to always do your shadow work. You know what I mean? Especially if when we living in this hell we living in right now. Just saying, please, you know what I'm saying? You know, really like to share this long and wide. Like I said, I know I came on here a little late, and it's like 3:36 right now, you know, and I had to push this out before I, lay it down because, people got to realize that we've been speaking our truth, and we've been laying this information out for so damn long. And now I'm hearing it again. Like I was telling, like Spirit been telling me, and I was wondering if I was, helping anyone out. Because at one point in time, like I said, all the shadow banning, all the censoring, I was wondering if any information was getting out. But Spirit told me, how you think all this stuff, word of mouth is powerful. Ever since before social media, before this internet, only thing we had was a word of mouth. And I'm telling you, word of mouth will go a long way as well as posting and on these social media. So, like I said, please share this long and wide. Because Spirit was telling me, yo, how you think a lot of people know this? You know what I'm saying? Around 2010, I can't even count how many I can count how many people was online speaking on things like it. They didn't even know who the Illuminati was. They didn't even know nothing about nothing what we speaking about right now. but I'm so glad a lot of, you know what I'm saying, this generation is waking up and they sharing the information. And I appreciate them. So as we go into the rest of this year, I'm just telling you, we can't put no time and dates on when shit is gonna happen, but we know this old system is crumbling right in front of our eyes in live time. And like I'm saying, and I'm not leading nobody astray. I'm telling you, you have to walk away from the old system. That's how they know we hit that critical mass of awakening. We gotta walk the fucking way. If you ain't taking it from me, take it from Rod Hayes. Rod Hayes been telling y'all he said he can't give you this information, and he's still working for the corporations. You gotta walk away from this shit. You can't you gotta walk away without fear, knowing that the Most High, you know what I'm saying, your ancestors got your back. You gotta know it. We in the age of a know now. You got to know why you doing things. You gotta know that you are, you know what I'm saying, gifted. You gotta know that you are a messenger. You gotta know that you are special. Every one of us special. I'm getting tired of motherfuckers sitting back in here and looking down on themselves and want to feel sorry for themselves, but want somebody to feel sorry for you. You don't have nothing to be sorry for, especially our indigenous black people. You ain't had nothing to do with all this bullshit. And they've been, you know what I'm saying, they've been keeping the truth from us. That's why the shit is the way it is. And they cannot do shit without us. They cannot live without us because us melanated people, we are the trendsetters. We are the creators. We are the gods and goddesses. Until you know that, your life is gonna be in shambles. But when you know that, and when you know it's something, you know you're a god or a goddess, your world's gonna get better. If you don't believe me, you can stop following me after a while. Well, hell, you gonna see it all. I'm Dice Games here, and we are. This is TV. Wow, this is Network. Please like it, share this long and wide. Like I said, I want to thank you. You know what I'm saying? The goddess queen just for me. 23. Her link is gonna be in the description. Please go check her out. And like I said, it's many, chosen people out here, and all through walks of life, and we all, what I'm saying, we got our own way of putting out the information. We got our own way, and we don't perceive the same shit. We don't perceive the same way. We all perceive messages and how we perceive them. It's just what it is. I love y'all. Y'all be safe out there.